Hey yo everyone, Angels Around. This is still Teacher Kimi of Kimipedia, and we are now going to the fifth installation of our research. We have, I think, 12 titles to share with you on social issues and, of course, society and social issues. So, one of the performance tasks that I give my students at the onset of practical research 1 so that I can also analyze their ability to write, to make narratives, is for them to create essay on a social issue that they know, or any social issue that they want to tackle in their essays. So, using that particular performance task, I start making groupings out of the result of the essay. So I would know uh, which people should be grouped together, or which people should be not grouped together, because for example, two people who are best friends are both good, so try to separate them so that all the teams will have someone good in writing or in creating narratives. The number one in our social issues and society is malanggasto and all, the perception of parents on K to 12 curriculum. This topic is not anymore as fresh and as new, but it's still very relevant, especially to the senior high school students like you, and to our community, small communities, who formerly have enrolled their students in college at the age of 15-year-old. I myself is someone who have graduated at the age of 19, or I think 18 years old, pa 19 pa lang ako nung when I graduated college, or was that 19? I'm not really sure, but I was born on 1991 and I graduated on 2011. So, yeah, I think I was already 19 years old during the time that I graduated. But 19 years old and graduating at college is pretty young. So, our government provided the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 and added uh, additional 2 years senior high school across all curriculum in the country, particularly in the public sector, because some of the private sectors have been having senior high school because they want their students to be well adapted to the global community. But right now, all of us are adapted with the global community with the onset of K to 12 curriculum. On the other hand, still many parents have problem with K to 12 curriculum. So you can explore K to 12 more about the perception of people regarding K to 12, TVL, the immersion thing. So you can explore that. If you are someone who is in gas system or UMS or ABM, you could also uh, look at the immersion process and try to get the lived experiences of those who have come before you. So we have already two batches of graduates in the senior high school ever since we started with in the national K to 12 curriculum. Now the number two in here is called traversing through stigma, early pregnancy as perceived by the would-be grandparents. So one of the social issues that are very much prevalent these days is early pregnancy. And technically, if I may tell you, historically, 14-year-old and 13-year-old are actually the ages when uh, when ladies are being courted by young men, and young men would start their own family at the age of 15 or at the age of 16. So this thing about early pregnancy is like something that is a westernized tradition or mindset for the Filipinos like us. So, on the other hand, although it is westernized, as I said a while ago, it is still something stigmatic, still something that is a stigma to would-be grandparents if their child are young child, teenager child are bearing children, or a child bearing a child. Another one is about, of course, early pregnancy. A plant, excuse me, a plantlet bearing a seed, the lived experiences of the teenage mothers. So you can recreate those titles in the way you see it, or in the process that you think is better suited to your key informants, depending on who your key informants would be, or what the results of your research endeavor have provided you. If your results have this particular theme that has been repeatedly seen, and you would like to incorporate that particular theme in your title, that would be very, very nice. Number 4 is having a taste of it, a case study on teenagers who have tasted prohibited drugs. So, prohibited drugs has been an issue ever since extrajudicial killings have arrived, or during the time when extrajudicial killings are prominent in our country, in our society. Even before extrajudicial killings, there have been prohibited drugs have been issued in our barangay. This proliferation of prohibited drugs have been heard of, have been seen, have been talked about, have been rumored about by my neighborhood. So this is usual for teenagers back then to have tasted marijuana or shabu. But I think you can still find teenagers who have tasted it and uh, learn from their mistakes, or learn from their experiences, so that you may not have to taste it. So I saw this campaign by the Malacanang of youth not tasting it, but we have another mindset. So some of the youth would like to try it so that they can really see that the if the prohibited drug can actually do havoc to their system, then they get addicted. Some of these people are also irresponsible in using the drugs. Some of these teenagers do not even have jobs or works, and yet they have money to buy for these vices. So this one is a very controversial topic, but still, the results of this study can be very much beneficial to your society. So I am suggesting it, but try to ask your teachers if you can do this. If your teachers would agree with this, go for it. If you think your teachers would not agree with that, then leave that behind. Number 5, through the eyes of the outsiders, the views and opinions of non-4-piece members. This particular topic or title was brainstormed by one group under my my supervision these days. So they told me that they would like to see the views and opinions of the people who are non-members of the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, or the Philippine Conditional Cash Transfer Program by the DSWD. I am a former social worker, municipal link under DSWD, and I am an advocate of Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program. On the other hand, I had dialogues with people who have reservations until these days about Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, about the disadvantages of 4-piece, about the negative effects that 4-piece have brought to our community. On the other hand, I could really tell you 100% I'm still an advocate of 4-piece, because even though those things may occur, I have seen the good in Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program. Other people may say that the amount of money are just very minimal, but with these people, this money is almost everything to them. And the negative side is that sometimes people get relaxed or laxed in their own lives. In they don't want to work anymore. They would not accept labor jobs just because they are already depending on the amount that the government are going to give. But this is not a dole out system. So it is a conditional cash transfer. There are certain conditions that members of 4Ps have to be able to do the responsibilities they have to take care of, the duties they would have to work with, just to get the cash grants that they deserve. So again, there are so many things about 4Ps that needs studying. Qualitative study on successful 4Ps families are very much welcome with the DSWD. I think DSWD is giving cash support or financial funding for people who would like to take on researches or researches about Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program. Let's proceed with number 6, Baratong Paroy, a case study on the effects of rice tarification law to the rice farmers of Libon Albay. Libon Albay is also known as the rice granary of Albay, and the rice tarification law is a pain in the ass for our farmers. So, I remember one of my students telling me about rice tarification law, and I don't know how to answer him. I asked him to just keep on reading about it and tell me about rice tarification law. In my own mindset, I already have a definition or a program, like a concept map on what is rice tarification law. But overall, the very important detail about it was that rice tarification law can cause havoc to the farm gate prices of unhusked rice. So the farm gate prices of unhusked rice has lowered into 5 to 7 pesos. That is very much low. During my time when I was younger, we can even sell it up to 22 pesos unhusked rice. Okay? That is the highest that I remember that the rice went. So, uh, they say that it has its own advantages, of course, according to the senator or the senators or the congressmen who have passed the law. But I don't think that it is very pro poor or pro farmers or pro agriculture, especially for the farming communities in the Philippines. Number 7 here is the fishing gears in the coastal communities of Libon Albay. I think I have already discussed this. So, your research, you may, if wherever you are, there are different communities that you may encounter in the coastal communities. Of course, they are a fishing community and they use several fishing gears. You just have to take pictures of these fishing gears, how to use these fishing gears, who are the users of these fishing gears, and what is the best in using in different situations, the best fishing gear to use in various situations, because the ocean is not the same every day. So they change, like they also have seasons in the sea. Let's proceed to another part of our discussion on society. Okay, society and social issues. I have in here a title called Elder Gays of Libon. Who are the elder gays of Libon? These are the old gay people of Libon Albay. A case study on their lives, where they live, what are they eating, what are their jobs, what are their works, and their relationship with other people. So I've watched this YouTube video about old gays who do not have anywhere to go, and I felt like crying because I myself is a gay and I do not know where I'm going. I think that some of the gay men are marrying for this purpose, so that someday they will not grow, they will not get old alone. But in my case, up to these days, I still believe that I don't want to I will not be marrying any woman because this may actually uh, this is a sin when I this may become a sin on my part when I marry a woman that maybe I love the woman, but I know in myself that I am a gay and I want another guy with me. So I would love a guy better than loving a woman romantically. Next is Along the Painful Days, the lived experiences of children with parents who died of cancer. So I have a lot of children or of mga junakis in in my experience who have told me about their parents dying of cancer and how painful their parents have felt the cancer uh, and their parents dying of cancer. So I would like some, some research about this. This is this may be very controversial since you were like putting salt into the wound of those people, but we can actually get some valuable lessons from the life experiences of these children. Also, I have in here ang aming henerasyon, Gaylets of Rawis Libon Albay. It's like you are going to create a small magazine where, so that is the product I'm talking about, the possible product, a small magazine of the young gay generation of a certain community. So that would be very, very nice. I think that would be funny and it is going to be very significant for these people when they grew up. Or not, or it's the other way around. It can cause havoc to the lives of children we will be featuring in this type of research. Controversial? I'm not really sure. Okay, let's check this. Dalawa na lang po. Into the Top of the Heap, the Lubaton Sisters story. So, in the barangay where I teach, there is this story about Lubaton Sisters, three of them, who were all graduates of the local high school, and yet they were able to enter the premier university in the Philippines, the University of the Philippines. So they were able to be part of the top of the heap of the college students in the Philippines. And this is a nice story that can inspire the rest of their community. So this is one of a kind. Even in Manila, I have cousins who are very, very talented and intelligent, and only two out of the brothers and sisters um, were able to enter University of the Philippines. And these people are valedictorian since their elementary days, since their kindergarten days. So you can see how intelligent people who are entering University of the Philippines are. So including the Lobaton sisters, consistent valedictorians, very excellent learners according to my co-teachers. Number 5 is Through the Dirt and Mud, the life story of engineer Gregorio Saurane. So that is just a chamba name. Gregorio Saurane is my student. And the Through the Dirt and Mud, why is that like that? Depending on the experiences of engineer Gregorio Saurane. So you can always in case study, you can always find people who are unique, who have different, somehow extra characteristics, different abilities that you can talk to, that you can interview with, that you can deal with, that you want to be with, and they are you are going to produce a case study out of that. So this is an example of that. Okay, I think this is everything that we have for society and social issues as of these days. Thank you so much for listening. And again, this is Teacher Kimi of Kimipedia. Angels around, everyone.